enthusiastic sales users with GoldMine, helping them make their most important calls and appointments every day and closing deals and hitting their numbers. And you may have the GoldMine like that, and we will be able to help you work more efficiently and get more from your GoldMine. On the other hand, you may be using GoldMine as barely more than a Rolodex, but you've got an idea that it could coordinate your company's efforts better. It could give your salespeople information at their fingertips that really supports sales. It could be the hub of your efficient, web-based marketing efforts. It could actually be making the work of everyone in your office more efficient and effective. And if that's you, I can help you too. If you're somewhere in between those two, whether it's all the way down at the Rolodex end or all the way up in the fully built out end, MasterMine can actually help you be a much more effective GoldMine user, and I don't mean just you individually, but your company as well. So before we get into that, let me give you a quick statement about who we are here. MasterMine's been in the GoldMine space since 1999. We've been a leading add-on to GoldMine for that whole time. MasterMine works with GoldMine, but we are not actually the publishers of GoldMine. There are over 1,500 companies that have adopted the MasterMine application to work with our GoldMine, and we are a fully authorized GoldMine dealer, so we can help you with any aspect of GoldMine implementation and configuration, from software updating and GoldMine configuration to data management and reporting and dashboarding. We spend all day here helping people get the best value for their GoldMine investment by fixing, understanding, and presenting and using their GoldMine data. Before we're done here, I think you'll agree with our best customers who really see MasterMine as an indispensable part of GoldMine itself. So here's how we do what we do in a nutshell. It's all about making GoldMine management work better by bringing together or by giving you some capabilities that really are necessary in a CRM system to be really effective. The first is end user level reporting, giving you the ability to basically to do your end user reporting without having too many people involved, essentially giving the person who needs the GoldMine data the ability to actually work with it. We call this dynamic reporting. It lets you put information in front of people who need it.
I interrupt you, I'm sorry. I don't know if your screen is going live. Are you still on the...
Are you saying my screen has not moved yet?
PowerPoint? Yes.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
So, apologize for that, folks. Unfortunately, I've kind of gone quite far into it here. Well, let's just move forward here. So, end user reporting is one thing that GoldMine provides, process management, as well as the ability to do manipulation of GoldMine data. And let me just see if I can gain control of my screen here a little bit better. And so basically that's what you get with MasterMine mixed together with coming together with GoldMine. And essentially what we're doing is bringing together the power of Excel together with GoldMine to make it to make GoldMine really work for you. So just sort of recapping, since you didn't hear it or I didn't show you here before, the agenda for today is we're going to demonstrate dynamic end user reporting with GoldMine. We're going to do GoldMine process management. In other words, talking about the ability to manage GoldMine processes more effectively with the tools that we can provide, and actual control of the data content of your GoldMine, meaning the ability to actually manage where it is in GoldMine, write down and putting it right at the fingertips of somebody within your office, a GoldMine administrator within your office, rather than have to work with consultants to get sort of basic GoldMine content management together. So with that, I'm going to actually switch over to GoldMine, and let's take a look at this GoldMine database and how we can work with you. Now, one of the things that I want to encourage you to do is when we are finished here, think about using the MasterMine tools that I'm about to show you with your own GoldMine database. We will make you an offer at the end that will make it very easy for you to actually see what you have in your own GoldMine database, which is a view you probably have never had before. And giving you the ability to actually work with it in a much more hands-on way than you've ever had in the past. I'll demonstrate here in a moment here just what this looks like. So up here on the GoldMine taskbar, I actually have some MasterMine reports. We call these reports, they're actually Excel workbooks that contain GoldMine data that are refreshed as they open. So in effect, what the MasterMine tool does for you is give you a functioning Excel workbook that actually has your current, to this moment, GoldMine information in it, not just a shell that you have to go and figure out how to get the information into. It's actually already there just by virtue of opening it up. I'll give you an example here. I've got a sales management toolbar here. You can see we've got a set of marketing reports, a set of other reports, some GoldMine administration reports that are already made, and you would typically in your organization have these doled out to the various people who fill those roles within your organization. So your GoldMine administrator might have these reports that they just run right off their GoldMine taskbar, in addition to, and I'll demonstrate this also, many, many more reports and templates that they can use to build MasterMine reports. So I'm going to go ahead and pull up a lead management workbook here. And as I say, as this is opening, it is actually refreshing with current, to this moment, GoldMine data, so that the user of this workbook is not actually going to need to have to do any exporting from GoldMine, not going to have to do any selections over there. All the selections can be done right here inside of Excel, even though you are working with the live GoldMine that's in data, data that's in GoldMine. So what we're seeing here is, at the moment, this is just an overview of all the account records that are in our GoldMine database. We have a sales rep field, as you probably do in your database. We also have a score field where we score our leads A through ABC or something else. And that score field, of course, is just, getting that set up in GoldMine is just a decision made by when you is not necessarily a final report. These are not the only ways to look at this information. That's why we're using the Excel environment here to be able to do a lot of interaction with the data. So for example, if I'm the sales manager and this is my report that's been given to me by let's say the MasterMine person who created this report for me, I may be looking at this for a particular purpose. I want to know how many A, B, and C leads we have assigned to each of our different sales reps. I don't care actually for the moment about the ones that are not C, the ones that are D or X. I'm interested in the A, B's, and C's, and I'm going to do some useful activity with those. I'm going to assign them to different users. I'm going to, there could be many different reasons that I want to see my data in a more filtered fashion. So the first thing I might do here as the sales manager is just go in here and, for example, turn off the ones that I don't want to see there. Now, you could not normally do that in a GoldMine report or a Crystal report that was created for you by somebody. They can probably give you a limited number of selections, say filtering options up at the top. So for example, they could go in here and say, well, let's just look at the ones that have appointments, or just the ones that have or just the calls, or something like that. They could give you, filtering options at the top, but they can't typically give you the ability inside the actual report in what you're displaying to decide at the moment what you're going to display. Nor can they give you an ability such as this, where, for example, we might say, let's take the A, B's, and C's and group those together. And here I'm just using some tools that we've added into GoldMine that make this easier to work with. So these will be our top prospects, and these are our, let's say, our lower prospects. All for the purpose of being able, just as a sales manager, to understand better what do I actually have in my database and how do I and how can we better the leads that we've got. Now this particular report is called Lead Management. It includes one row in our query per record in GoldMine, per account record in GoldMine, but it also shows what was the most recent activity that we did with them, the last call, the last appointment, or if there has been no call or appointment, it'll show that as well. And with that set of data, and this is a very easy thing to generate originally with MasterMine, as a sales manager, I can actually work with this quite well to do variations on this same report. So in this case, I've done a little bit of tweaking of how that looks, and part of the big point here is that I can make this dynamic enough that a user in the moment can make this show what they need to, but they can also from there clone off and make additional reports that are, let's say, versions of the same information but just presented differently. So this is actually the same query of information here in GoldMine, but just laid out differently in this screen so that, for example, I can choose a particular sales rep and see their call report for whatever selected period of time I want to see their calls. And here I've got company and contact information. I've got also the date of their last contact, their references, or sorry, the reference line from that call, as well as the notes from that call, from that activity or call. And you can see I have again the ability here, even as an end user who doesn't know the first thing about programming or doing queries or doing reports, I can at least have this set up where it's very easy for me to see a call report from GoldMine that's not locked down to look only a particular way and that won't answer the questions that I need in the moment. Excuse me. So there's an example of doing it as call notes. I'll just show you some other examples here. This is actually the same. And as you can see, I've taken our scores and grouped them top and lower, and when I did that on the first tab, that applied all the way through to my third tab here, or actually to all of the tabs in the workbook. So that sort of organization still works for me. So a graphical view of that information, again, very easy to make from a table, and that graphical view actually moves with the table itself, or with the data table itself, to give me, again, a much better understanding of what's happening in GoldMine and an ability to control it. That's all I'm going to show you in this report here. What I want to move to is let's see, having made those changes. Oh, actually, having made those changes, I think what I would probably do is save this workbook so that I could come back to it again next time. It'll refresh a week from now or a month from now with exactly the same data that I had, and then I'll be able to work with it from there. So I'm going to close that workbook, and let's generate a brand new MasterMine report, because I want to show you that it's very easy for you if you are working with GoldMine. Now, again, no matter what state your GoldMine data is in, if you've got lots of custom fields, MasterMine will find those custom fields. If you don't have them, but you have an idea of what information would be helpful to have it for your sales reps up at the top of your GoldMine screen, and you want that information to be either filled in by, could be filled in manually by your sales reps, or it could actually be filled in by from the MasterMine reports, pulling from your GoldMine data to fill in there, or even pulling from external data like your accounting data. We could actually fill in information here that makes it useful for your, not only for your sales managers to monitor what's going on, but for your sales reps actually having the right information at their fingertips when they're at the point of contact with customers. Now, I'm talking here about sales reps, but the same is true for customer service reps and marketing people and everybody else who uses GoldMine. They rely upon GoldMine data, but only if that data is itself reliable. And we're all about either making it possible for you to monitor that information so you know what's there, or to actually, or I should say, and to actually improve the data that's in GoldMine. So with that, I'm going to just illustrate creating a report here, and I'm going to take our create dialog here. As you can see, the words, the ways of that MasterMine looks at GoldMine really are based, are able to, MasterMine is able to essentially read the labels just the way they show up in GoldMine. So what you see as far as labels here correspond with the labels on GoldMine tabs. So if we're looking at main contact information, the fields that we see listed in here are just the same fields that you see in your database. You can alphabetize these fields if you've got a lot of them. So for example, if you want to go in and pull, let's say, the date that the person did a demo with you and the last time we had a contact with them, we could easily grab those alphabetically. Last contact is one field and the demo date is another. Very easy to include those in my report and just say finish, and that basically creates that is the basis for creating the reports similar to the ones that we were looking at just a moment ago that I pulled up from my taskbar. So even if you're creating a report, a brand new one from scratch, essentially getting the information into Excel is very, very easy, and then organizing it on the page in whatever way is useful for you is, again, also very easy. Let's say we want to make a report of our customers and we want to show the customers for a particular account manager. You can see it's very easy to just simply drag the appropriate information in, and then we'll actually just start choosing our columns that we're going to display: the company, the contact, the date we did a demo with them, their industry that they're in, and very quickly it's very easy to just have this information show up in a report. And I've created a report there while I was talking in a few seconds, and what I want to emphasize with this is every piece of information that's in GoldMine is available to you to be included here. There is no there's no delay, there is no restriction as far as only being able to look at contact level information as we're doing here. Really everything that's in GoldMine, past activity-based, opportunities, projects, is all very easy, similarly easy to report from, either by building new reports from scratch or by actually selecting from over 150 built-in templates, each of which is built around known needs for reporting on GoldMine administration issues, sales management issues, marketing management issues, customer service management issues. All of these are and when I say these are templates that turn into reports, just imagine that each template, it has the kind of dynamism that I'm showing you here, so that what is created in the end is not just simply one way of looking at that information, but it gets the end user to the point where, with a little dragging and dropping, a little rearranging, a little filtering, they can see what they want to see in that very moment, all ready to go. And all of this, the entire process, in some cases, just takes a few seconds or a few minutes, where it used to be hours or days or weeks, really, to get some programmer to write reports for you. That's no longer necessary. Final sort of major thing that I want to illustrate here before I come back and invite you to take a look at MasterMine with your own GoldMine data, and that is a very important functionality of being able to update your GoldMine data. So I might drill down on my MasterMine reports. Drilling down, by the way, allows me to do various interactions back with GoldMine. In this case, I double-clicked on the grand total to see all the data that was behind my report. This will allow me to access my GoldMine records. So if I'm on Ian Flowers' row here in our MasterMine report, if I double-click, it'll actually go to Ian Flowers and GoldMine, and I can then take action. Think of all of the situations where, if you've got reports and those reports can link straight back to the GoldMine database to pull up the records for people, those reports become much more effective at helping them and you manage GoldMine itself. So that is an access to the individual GoldMine records. You can also do things like build GoldMine groups from here. So the marketing manager, who maybe is interested in reaching a certain segment of your database, and I'll just rearrange this as a segmenting tool. So I've just cloned our worksheet, and I'm going to show our larger database. Let's do our customers by account manager, and let's say we want to so this is our customers by account manager, and we're going to send an email to the these are smaller numbers here, but let's take Tina's 3 engineering customers. So we'll double click on the 3, go to GoldMine, build a GoldMine group, send email, And if you work with GoldMine groups already, you probably know this is a very effective and a powerful way of working with the tools built into GoldMine for marketing purposes, for let's say for interacting with outside services such as MailChimp and so on. GoldMine is really very effective that way, but only if you're able to leverage some of the tools that are built in, like, for example, being able to build GoldMine groups like this. A final really major tool that's built into here is the ability to actually change data here inside of Excel. I'll make this an A, and this one a C, and this one a B. But I could take any field that's in GoldMine and do this and actually update those records over on the GoldMine side. So our updater tool not only will update data in exactly the place, update a field, for example, just by changing it in Excel and putting it back into the same field on the GoldMine side, it will also do quite a number of GoldMine management tasks, from simply updating data to actually deleting unwanted data from your GoldMine. If you make your report that selects, let's say, old history or old email addresses or should be reflected in GoldMine, you could actually create history that reflects that activity, or anything else that you do where you're interacting with customers, but GoldMine itself doesn't reflect it, and rather than go one by one to the individual records, you want GoldMine to just indicate that was done for reporting purposes and for the purposes of being able to follow up appropriately. All of the tools that are built into MasterMine, from the reporting side all the way through to the data management side, are all aimed at essentially allowing you to leverage that investment that you've already made in GoldMine. So that's all I'm going to demonstrate in MasterMine today. To summarize, let me get back here. So to summarize, basically what you're able to accomplish with MasterMine is really, if you think about it, the key things that you've wanted to be able to do with GoldMine all along, but probably couldn't effectively do. Doing fast, efficient reporting at a low cost. If you've got easy reporting with GoldMine, that means you've got informed, confident salespeople, and that means less wasted time hunting through old history to figure out who to call next. And otherwise just sort of avoiding customer contact, where what you really want is maximum contact between your people and your customers. Easy reporting also means fulfilling requests for information from the executive level far faster and easier than ever before, even enabling some self-service by those executives if you put reports before them where they have a limited set of reasonable choices to make about what they're going to see. And it's essentially, this is providing easy reporting with your GoldMine is something you can do with MasterMine at far less cost than you can do really even than providing one or two custom programmed crystal reports by somebody, or really any other reporting method. It also means that you can very quickly fix data, keep it maintained. I'll venture to guess that everybody on this call, if you've had GoldMine for a number of years, knows, or at least has strong suspicion, that your GoldMine has lots of data that's either in the wrong places, or it's incomplete, or it's just really not set up to work with your current way of working with GoldMine, and that data is in your way. It is actually weighing down your company and preventing you from doing the things that you need to do. With fixed data, once you've fixed your data, you essentially make the entire GoldMine system more reliable for all of its users, which means you're going to have fewer opportunities falling through the cracks. You're going to have people actually working with GoldMine because they believe in it more than they ever have before. MasterMine is really about empowering GoldMine administrators, even though they are not SQL gurus, not report programmers. It's about giving the power to you, your internal admin person, so that they can make reports, manage data without actually having to go out and hire consultants or burden the IT department with working in GoldMine in an environment that they're not really familiar with. And really it's about providing in the end a payoff for GoldMine users. If you've ever had difficulty getting people to agree to actually work with GoldMine, to record their activities because they think, oh, it's just a big waste of time. I want to focus on doing sales, or I want to focus on this other thing that on my job, and I don't want to have to be held accountable by putting things into GoldMine. Well, if they're going to be very effective at preventing doing that if you don't have a payoff for your users. If you're able to give them information, if you're able to set up GoldMine so that they can trust the information that's in it, if you're able to present reports to them or allow them to have reports in their GoldMine that actually tell them how are they doing according to their goals, what kind of commissions can they expect to make based on the sales that they've accomplished and what they have forecasted. Essentially, if you've got something that really lubricates all of the communication within the organization, by giving people actual factual information to work with and right at their fingertips in a very user-friendly way, then you create a far greater payoff for all of your GoldMine users, so that the whole system essentially works better for you. And really ultimately what that is about is truly coordinated sales and marketing that makes GoldMine work for your organization. So that's what we're really able to help you accomplish here. So what I encourage you to do is see MasterMine in action. We can do a free 1-hour demonstration of MasterMine with your GoldMine data. And by the way, it's a demonstration, but what you're really seeing is a guided tour of your own GoldMine. You will suddenly become aware of what you have, where it is, where things have fallen through the cracks. And if you've already got in your own mind some kind of information that would be really useful for you working with GoldMine, by all means, let us know, and we will help you to actually see that with your GoldMine database. It takes a very short time to set up MasterMine and actually start showing you this. A couple of examples here that I've listed is an analysis of your lead sources and distribution among your territories or among your sales reps, so that you can actually see where are leads coming from numerically, but also what's happening to them. To what extent are they just sitting around not getting followed up on, or to what extent are we really succeeding in various areas. A report like a last contact by a sales rep, where you can see because if you've been using GoldMine to complete calls as your sales reps reach out into the world, or as they have appointments or whatever, if that is recorded in GoldMine, that also allows you to see the opposite thing, which is leading prospects and customers that have not had an appointment or a call recently, so that you can quickly flush those out and get your people working on them. And the last example here that I put in is just simply sales forecast, because a lot of people come to us and actually ask us, GoldMine does have a nice built-in sales forecast report, but it only does one thing. It only shows it to you in a certain way. It's not going to allow you to do a forecast by product, by region, by give you the ability to call us up and schedule that today, and appreciate once again your attention.